Hi, welcome back to part 4 of this series about Icelandic pools, lagoons, spas, hot springs, geothermal experiences, the ones aimed at tourists rather than locals. Today we are on the Golden Circle and we're going to the Secret Lagoon. Now the Secret Lagoon is probably the oldest swimming pool in Iceland. It's called the Old Pool in Icelandic. It's been open since I think 1891. Although at the time it's a local pool for local people. It's just a pool dug in a farmer's backfield, and it claims Iceland's first swimming lessons in 1909. It opened to tourists and the public in general in 2014, and the cynical part of me says because they looked at the Blue Lagoon and went, how can we get some tourist money? We've got a load of hot water as well, let's use it. But yeah, so Secret Lagoon. Secret Lagoon, like I say, is just a big squarish duck pond. My guidebook called it a duck pond. I think it's a little unfair, but it is just a pool and it's fed by geysers around the edge, so there's no temperature control. It's just what temperature the water pops out of the ground at. How good is it really? Let's have a look. So first of all, is it on public transport? No, it isn't. Bits of the Golden Circle can maybe be reached by public transport with a couple of changes from Reykjavik, but it's not really on public transport. It is, as usual, on a load of tours. For a secret lagoon, it's not very secret, plenty of tours go to it, so if you haven't got a car, you can get to it, but again, on someone else's schedule. It doesn't have private showers. Obviously they believe that you need to wash before you go in the water, and they do not let you do that privately, so just be aware of that. That is going to make a difference to some people. So 0 points for public transport, 0 points for private showers. What about the facilities? Let's see if we can score any points with facilities. First of all, as usual, is it swimmable? Yes it is, point for swimmable. It has swimming lessons. Again, it's not terribly deep, but it's deep enough to swim, and if you can fit around the tourists you can kind of do lengths because it's kind of length shaped. So, but that's it for facilities. It doesn't have a hot pot, it doesn't have a sauna, it doesn't have a steam room, doesn't have a waterfall, doesn't have any extras. It's literally just a pool. This is by far the most rustic and basic of these pools. This is the one where I hesitated to say that all of these are high-end tourist, but it's very much aimed at tourists, but it's aimed at giving them a more rustic and authentic experience. It still counts as one of the 10, but yeah, if you're expecting something as space age as the Blue Lagoon, that's not what you're getting here. 1 point for facilities. What about your in-water experience? Can you get a drink? Again, half a point for this because you can get your wallet from the changing rooms and walk into the back door of reception, buy a drink from the fridge there, and then take it back into the water. You can drink it in the water, so half a point, but you know there's no in-water bar, there's no service to make it easy for you, but you can have a drink. So does it have any fun extras? This one does have fun extras. It's got an entire basket full of pool noodles. You may know them as woggles. For me, a woggle is a thing that closes a neckerchief. I'm not using pool noodles, foam, long thin things that you can float around on. So it gets point for fun extras. It has towels to hire, so you don't need to take your own and take it home wet. And then we get to the view, which is the points out of 3, and I'm inclined to give this 1 point. You're certainly not going to go there for the view. It is in the back of a field. It's the barn turned into changing rooms is behind you, and in front of you a couple of hills and some trees. And there are geysers. They're not huge. They go off irregularly. You can watch, but I mean it's not enough to get a 0 out of 3. But I don't think it's exciting enough to score any higher than 1. So that comes to half a point for drinks, 1 point for the noodles, 1 point for the towels, and 1 point for the view. 3.5 points for the in-water facilities. Let's see if we can save this, because we know so far it's scoring quite low. Let's see if we can save this with the vibes. What do I think of it? How do I like it? I like it enough to give it a 2. I quite enjoy it. I will keep going back to it if I'm in the area, but I don't love it. You know, it's not up in my favourites, but it's not at the bottom of my pile either. So I'm going to give it 2 out of 3 on vibes. Or I don't like the word vibes. It doesn't suit me. But yeah, my personal points, polar bear points. 2. So how much does this overgrown duck pond cost? Actually, this one is 3,300 krona for a general basic adult daytime nothing special entrance, which works out at just under £20, which spoiler is the cheapest of the lot, which is why it earns 2 points. There's not many that I give points to, but this is getting one. This is getting 2 points. So what have we got all together? So we've got no points for the private showers, we've got no points for public transport, we've got 1 point for facilities, We've got 3.5 points for the in-water experience. We've got 2 points for what I think about it. And, unprecedented, we've got 2 points for the price, which comes to, altogether, I think, 8.5 points. Now that is the lowest so far. Next up, we've got the Secret Lagoon 8.5, Blue Lagoon 9.5, Move Out Nature Baths 12.5, Fontana sitting at the top on 17.5. Do I think the Secret Lagoon deserves to be that low down? I mean, it is missing a lot of facilities. It is missing a certain amount of shine and just high-endness to it. But I don't think it's unreasonable that it's only scoring 1 point less than the Blue Lagoon. If anything, the Blue Lagoon is the one that's unreasonable for scoring so low. So yeah, I think 8.5 is alright. We've still got, I think, 6 pools to go, so we still don't really know what this scale is going to look like by the end. So yeah, I guess we'll find out as we go along. Where are we next week? Next week we're in Coloma, which is on the west coast. This is one I looked forward to for many years. So come back next week and we'll see what that one is like. Thanks for watching. See you next week.